Good day, everybody, and what's up? Welcome to the podcast for Selfless Sex and She Comes First. My name is Dr. Nick Meyer, sitting here on November 17th in the afternoon. There's some kind of nor'easter thing going on outside. The wind is kind of gusty, so if you hear them, that's what's going on outside. So, oh man. So, on that note, I'll say thank you guys for listening to the podcast. I had a rather rough week last week. I'm not sure what the hell is going on. I heard that Mercury is in retrograde again. I'm sick of this shit. Spotify's messing up my account, so people can't hear the newer podcasts I'm putting out for some reason. I don't know why. So everything from June forward is now missing. So I'm just like, okay. Then on, I guess it was, Thursday, after my lady left, my phone started going crazy. Found out that someone got into my bank account and went to, what the hell is it called? Old Navy and The Gap. So I'm talking to the lady. I'm like, man, I'm almost 50. I have no reason to go to The Gap at all. So at least she was laughing, but still, I'm like, fuck. So that's $200 that just vanished. And then Friday after work, I'm like, yay, it's Friday. I get to relax and get over this crappy week. Then my phone goes off again. Ding. Oh, you have jury duty on Monday. Fucking A, man. Like, all right. It's like, what else? So this Mercury thing, retrograde shit, it's gotta go. So I'm going to make my transition here to start to talk about some sex. Thank goodness. And today, I want to keep it kind of fun and light. I want to talk about the importance of quickies and just having quickies in general and why I think why we need to have them. So you know what? Let's talk about that today. So for this podcast, I'm going to cite an article I stumbled across in something called womenshealthmag.net or .com. If you think about it, when you have quickies, you're actually having sex. So there are a lot of people out there, I really want to have more sex. So quickies actually do count as having more sex. Secondly, they're pretty quick. So the pressure to have long, extended sexual sessions, all that pressure is gone. It's out the window because you both are pretty much there just to get your rocks off. And sometimes if she needs to get her rocks off, she can. If he needs to get his rocks off, he can. But that pressure for 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute session of intercourse is out the window. And also, quickies can be a lot of fun because usually there's a lot of giggling, there's a lot of laughing. They're fun because, first off, depending on where you are having your quickie, they're kind of sneaky. So if you're at work, or I'm telling on myself, if you're at work or you're in a car or in a stairwell or whatever, there's an added element of getting caught. So that kind of makes the blood flow even a bit more. And also, quickies are typically pretty hot. There's a lot of passion there. You really want to get it in. You really want to just get the clothes up, get the clothes off, get in whatever position like you're going to get into. But it's like there's heat and there's that passion. So that kind of adds to the fun. So that's one of the reasons why I do believe quickies are very important. So right here, I just want to make a few quick and important points. Number one, depending on the status of your relationship, I would say engaging in some sort of safer sex activity or keeping condoms and or dental dams close by. You know what I mean. Secondly, you may also want to keep some lube on hand too, depending on what type of sexual activity you want to engage in. So, for example, let's say your lady isn't quite ready yet. And if you go and try to shove something up inside of her, it can actually hurt. So that's no fun for anybody. So you may want to keep just like a little squeeze tube of lube around or wherever, or grab it on your way out the door to the quickie. You know what I mean? So that's just some food for thought. And third, I have to say this too. Quickies always don't have to be about intercourse. Because sometimes, you know what? Getting some really good head is also a lot of fun and also counts as a quickie. And it can also be a quote unquote warm up for something that takes place later on in the day or at night or whatever. So it's easy just to drop to your knees and give a good blowjob. I'm pretty sure that's fine and dandy. And also for the lady, she probably likes some good head too, because as I said earlier on, or many times before, most women don't have orgasms from penetrative sex. So guys, if you kneel down in front of her and she swings her leg kind of like over your shoulder a little bit, it kind of opens things up and it gives you access to her labia and to her clitoris, so you can go ahead and have a good time satisfying her. Don't forget, this podcast is also called She Comes First. So those are 3 quick things I just wanted to point out. So now let's get into some positions that really work well for quickies. So it's my opinion that I do believe that there are some positions that are actually really beneficial and make quickies even hotter. And the old standby is, speaking heterosexually, of course, is just bend her over. You bend her over a desk at work. I think I'm telling on myself, but that's okay. The kitchen table or the kitchen counter, but just something about that angle, quote unquote, getting it from the back, getting her from behind is actually really hot, and it's really easy to do. There's no hydraulics needed. There's no equipment. No one's going to fall and hurt themselves. There it is, and boom. Also, do it standing up, where if you guys are on kind of like the same height level, you can have sex standing up, where she kind of wraps her leg up around your waist, and kind of like a ballerina position, as it's called, I think. But that works also. You can, especially if you have access to a chair, she can sit on your lap. So it's kind of like a reverse cowgirl, but sitting, so she can bounce on you and have a good time. And you also can reach around the front of her and rub her clitoris. So that's even more pleasure. That's even more pleasure for her. And also, I think depending on where you work, because I have a feeling a lot of quickies actually happen at work, you can go into the stairwell and you can sit in the stairs. So it's kind of like a chair, but even more room, I could say. You also can use like the handle for like more leverage, so you can really get like a good bounce going, I guess you could say. But once again, I'm going to go back to the desk. There's something about the desk. It's always like the perfect height to do whatever. She can actually spin around and face you, or she can just be bent over the desk. She can hold on to the pencil sharpener if things get really aggressive back there and everything else. So I'm just saying, maybe I'm dropping a hint or not. Or maybe I'm telling myself. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. But still, yes, quickies are a lot of fun. That's what I'm saying. So in closing, all goofiness aside now, I just really think that quickies are very important for relationships. Yes, they're quick and they do whatever, but I do believe that they're just so intense and they're full of passion, and sometimes that's what you need to reignite your sex life in some cases, and that's not a bad thing. So sometimes if someone calls you for a nooner, take it. If things are going well, and sometimes you may just need that nut. And that's the truth, male and female. You just need to get your rocks off, or whatever the kids are calling it these days. It's important. So I say, yeah, go ahead, have at it, have a good time. Be safe, of course. Incorporate some sort of oral activities in there too. And I like to say that sometimes a quickie is a warm-up for something else that's going on later that night, or even a continuation from something that happened earlier on in the day, or that morning, for that matter. Just some food for thought. So on that note, people, I'm out. You guys have a great week. Stay tuned, and I'll talk to you soon.